Thank you, Doug. I'm almost an expert at losing some, as a matter of fact. We'll have a look at the tips in a moment. But first, to one of the most contentious issues in racing at the moment, and that's the question of Sunday racing. It now seems almost certain that the Moonee Valley Racing Club will be given the go-ahead for the Sunday meeting on the day after the grand final this year. But Sunday racing on a more regular basis is on the cards, and the jockeys and trainers are dead set against it, as I discovered at Moonee Valley this week. Most people in racing realise something must be done to arrest dwindling crowds, and maybe Sunday racing could be the answer. Surely it's worth a try. And the VRC Working Party, set up to investigate the issue, will monitor closely the first Sunday meeting at Moonee Valley in September. Bob Hoysted, representing the trainers, believes further talks on penalty rates for staff must take place before Sunday racing gets the go-ahead, and he has another reason to oppose it.
Talk of having a day off in lieu of is just not on at all. We already work 7 days a week. Jockeys are wasting all week. They like to have a good feed of a Saturday night and just relax and unwind a little bit. But if they bring Sunday racing in as an everyday, every week occurrence, I think they're going to have a lot of nervous, uptight people on their hands, and anything might happen.
But Rick Audacy has a view uncommon to most trainers. He wants Sunday racing, provided an all-weather track is built to take the added pressure. Wouldn't concern you that you'd have to work 7 days a week?
Just part of the job. And no, I wouldn't work 7 days a week in any case. I mean, I think they could have a day off on Friday, perhaps do away with the Friday races or Monday. It's very rarely racing on Monday as it is.
The jockeys certainly don't want Sunday racing. They'll be demanding a $100 riding fee, a rise of $55 to ride on Sundays. Chris Barrett spoke on behalf of all the jockeys this week.
Well, Greg, we work 6 days a week as it is. We work Monday, Tuesday, right through to Saturday. And after Saturday, not just mentally, but physically, we just look forward to having a day off, a day at home with our family, whatever. We're doing something, getting away from racing. It just becomes a bit too hard, you know.
Would you concede it's probably inevitable that in the long run we are going to have Sunday racing, and it'll be up to you whether you ride or not? It'll go ahead anyway.
I hope it doesn't get to that stage, Greg, but, you know, people say, I haven't heard a good reason why we should have it. You know, you looked at overseas in England, they all relate to over Europe and that. They don't race on Sundays. They don't have races for the full season, you know. So they're better off than what we are. We work damn harder than them.
Chairman of the Moonee Valley Racing Club, Bill Stutt, believes Sunday racing can work, particularly the proposed Sunday after the grand final.
The indications we have to be very successful. One thing is it'd have to be better than the Saturday with the final being played, because we only get about 10,000 people here, and we give $100,000 for the Moonee Valley Stakes, so financially it's a disaster with 10,000 people. But I would think it should be thoroughly successful, but at least we will have tried it, and if it's not, we'll know next year.
Personally, would you like to see it on a regular basis?
I think Sunday racing will come. It works in other parts of the world, so I don't see why it wouldn't work here. Of course, there would have to be a day of rest during the week for, you know, jockeys, trainers and so on, but I think that can be got around satisfactorily. The unions will be a worry. They might say, here's the chance to get triple time or something like that, but, you know, we've got to live with that, and that's up to the government to control them, we hope.
Whilst the trainers and the jockeys oppose Sunday racing, it seems that most racegoers would support it. In a poll we conducted at Moonee Valley on Wednesday, it was 11-1 in favour.
There's not much else to do with a Sunday, and people are betting anyway, so if football can be on a Sunday, why can't racing?
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday, why not?
Sunday racing is a good day for the family and everything to go. The old man goes to football on the Saturday, so they have the Sunday racing, they can all go.
I think a one-off would be okay. I'm not too sure whether I'm in favour of it being continually done every week. But then again, like everything, I've got to do with the times, and I think maybe a lot of people would be in favour of it.
Yeah, I'd like to see Sunday racing come in. I'd really enjoy it because I'm still on a Sunday.
You have Sunday cricket, you have Sunday football, you have Sunday surf carnivals. Now, why not racing?
Well, public opinion seems to be in favour of Sunday racing. So what about the bookmakers?
I think it's a good idea occasionally, once a month or once every 2 or 3 weeks would be a good idea.
Sunday would be all right if they didn't race on Saturdays, but if they're going to race Saturday, it'll be saturated with racing Saturday and Sunday.
I would like to see them race on Saturday and Sunday in the city, but particularly say half a dozen meetings of the year to start with and then go from there if it is successful. But I'm sure that it would be bring a lot more people to the track and should have been here years ago.
Well, we're going to hear a lot more about the Sunday racing issue. I believe it is inevitable that we will race on Sundays in the very near future, but to make a real success of it, we probably have to have a day free, and that would most likely be the Saturday to keep the novelty of the Sunday racing going in the early days. Well, last Saturday, the VRC secretary of the past 16 years retired. Murray Cox, who's held the reins of Victoria's premier racing club since 1969, gave up the game, and his retirement ends an era in the Cox family's association with racing. Murray Cox's great-grandfather started the family's links with the racing game, and now, more than a century later, Murray himself can sit back and be proud of where Australian racing has progressed. During his 16 years as secretary, Murray has seen enormous growth at Flemington. He estimates more than $20 million has been spent on improving amenities at the track in his time, and is proud of the club's achievements.
I suppose one of the main things is the very much improved drainage and the general public facilities and so on at Flemington itself is one of the, in relation to Flemington, it's been, there's been a lot of work and a lot of money spent on Flemington that has brought it up to, I believe, a very high level.
Rod Johnson is the man who'll take over. Rod brings with him 40 years of experience in nearly every administrative position at the VRC, and is well known and respected internationally. Rod, 54, says racing's in a pretty healthy state at present, with betting turnover at a high. He says it won't be long before the Melbourne Cup is not the only $1 million race in Victoria, and believes Sunday racing has a definite place in Melbourne. He also has ideas on how to boost attendances on Saturdays.
Well, I think that you can encourage sporting clubs and also other clubs to arrange groups to come to the races by bus. I mean, as I mentioned to you, I've connected with Junior Sport and I've taken groups to various sporting events in buses, and I think that that's the way it ought to be. It gets over a number of problems, and we'll be going all out to encourage people to come in groups to the races.
Now to the preview part of the program. It's at Caulfield tomorrow. The track is heavy, the penetrometer reading of 7.03. The first event at 12:25, and we check selections for the day. In the first event, I thought 4 Rocky's Revenge. I'm told very impressive at Cranbourne. An 8-length win there, and he does handle the wet to beat 2 Sir Mame and 6 Vagliatino. The betting from Alan Cleary, and he has Sir Mame at 9-4 in favourite. Rocky's Revenge is a 4-1 shot. Peg's Choice at 5-1. In race 2, I like 1 Vera's Boy. I thought he'd be much too good for these. A good 5-length win last start, and he holds his form usually to beat Lion Duke and Ravela. And Vera's Boy 6-4 in favourite. Lion Duke at 3-1. Nazinski at 6-1. Race number 3, number 1 Daring John. This is not a strong field, and he has the form to win this. He looks another star bet to beat Beholder Phantom and Erupting Wave. Again, he's 6-4 with Allen. That's Daring John. At 7-2, Beholder Phantom. 5-1, Irish Conceit. The next line is 10-1 for Kadoof. Race 4, number 8, Find a Star. Should have won at Moonee Valley last start when third to Petite Piquet was badly held up and does handle the wet well. 8, Find a Star. 1, Love Astray, and 2, Lucky for Some. Alan Cleary, 4-1 the field. Love Astray and Lucky for Some on top of the betting, and Find a Star down on the third line at 6-1. Now we move along to race 5 on the card. State Draw. He won 3 in a row on a heavy track, and then third to Yorick, and it wasn't a bad run at all last start. He looks the one to beat again from Green Action and Bright Scholar. And the market in race 5 has State Draw the favourite at 5-2. 6-1 for Green Action and Judd and Lodger, and then at 10s, Braquillo, I'm No Saint and Sir Gregory. Race 6, number 1 Range, a consistent mare. I thought she'd be better than these to beat 3 Maybole Miss and 8 Zizless. And in race 6, it's 3-1 for Flying Shoes, 7-2 Range, at 4-1 Maybole Miss, 8-1 for Cooktown Lady, and on 10-1 Frosty Dawn, Ennisvale Lady and Zizless. In race 7, number 3, Night Judge is my choice here. This isn't a good race, but he's got pretty good form. He's won 11 out of 44. He's been 27 times in the money and handles the wet to beat 2 Daring Fleet and 7 Pulse. And the betting in race 7, it's 3-1 for Daring Fleet, 7-2 Beatrice Levet, and Night Judge, good each way value at 5-1. The last event on the program, Presents for All, was a good run at Flemington last start, was just caught by Salvita, and around Caulfield that'll help its chances to beat Dexterous and Mantina 4-1-3. It's forced the field for Dexterous and Presents for All 6-1 Papal Princess, Mantina and Dynamic Dancer. Dual Flame or Dual Fame is at 8-1, and then 10's Cuban Mahogany and Velbay. Alan Cleary's lucky long shot for the day, race 8, horse 11 Tyreso, quoted at 12-1. And Bernard Spain, who's been clocking them out at Flemington, thought race 4, horse number 2, Lucky for Some, would be the bet of the day. And now to the 3-star specials in racing around Australia, and we had 3 out of 4 lucky enough to get home last week. Hopefully a bit of luck this week, and we check them. We start with Melbourne, and for the meeting at Caulfield, I thought race 3, horse 1, Daring John. Only 6-4, but he does look the winner. In Sydney, they're racing at Rosehill. Tony Campbell filling in for Jeff Marnie thought race 4, horse 4, Social Cream was the bet of the day. In Adelaide, the meeting at Victoria Park, John O'Neill studies the form there for us. He thought race 3, horse 2, Cheer Charlie. And finally, in Brisbane, the meeting is at Ipswich, and Paul Dalton selects race 5, horse number 5, Home Office. Okay, so much for the racing segment for tonight. Next week, we have a special on our bookmaker, Alan Cleary. Hope you can join us then and find a few winners over the weekend.
The ice